we are joined in by Ashok Chandok. He is the Ashok Chandok. In fact, he is the ESA and SEMI president. Thank you so much for joining us today on ET Now. Help us understand what will it do for the semiconductor industry in the country, and can we compete with the likes of Taiwan after this scheme?
Thank you for inviting. We see this as a very transformational step towards building our trusted, self-reliant, and a globally competitive semiconductor ecosystem. The biggest takeaway today is the unwavering commitment from government and a continuity of the policy. So I call it that we are moving from credibility, which was established under phase one, towards the capability, which will be the outcome and powered by the policy continuity. The amount which is being allocated is quite significant, actually. 1.27 lakh crore is a significant amount. And this is coming up at a very opportune time when the entire semiconductor industry worldwide is in an upturn and under the investment upscale cycle. And at that time, having this policy being announced is going to be quite important and relevant. Now, question is, you asked me about competing with Taiwan. My view is India should not look at running a race with these established nations, those who have taken decades and decades to bring where they are. India's journey is a bit different than other countries, but we really achieved a great progress over the last few years. And I can also tell you how we can go forward from here. And the 20 billion investment was already allocated or garnered over last during the phase one of the policy. And 3 plants are fully operational and more to get operational. So that's the first part of the credibility which is already built up. Now, with this current policy, the important differentiator I call is it is addressing the entire supply chain or ecosystem. So now this includes the fabs. Those are normally long gestation period, high dollar value investment, the OSAT, but also the emphasis on the design elements, plus the other element like equipment, materials, and other stuff. And all these are going to bring significant investment from the member companies, what we see worldwide, actually.
Right, sir. Let me interject you on that point, given the fact that you speak about global giants who could be looking at investing in India. Sir, you represent these organizations and you often have conversations with your global counterparts as well. What is it that they're looking at, especially when it comes to investing in India? And does this policy provide that framework for those companies to come here and invest in India in a significant and a meaningful manner?
See, over the last couple of years, we have seen a major geopolitical situation changing, and that has also become one of the challenge for India to overcome. And India's credibility was not fully established when we started the program. And I want to say that today, whenever I go to, for example, various other events we do like Semicon in Japan and Taiwan and US, everywhere India is getting good traction. There are more country-to-country dialogues and discussions going and industry-to-industry dialogues, discussions going. We have upcoming event, for example, just a proof of the pudding. In a September 17, 18, 19, Semicon India event would be done in Delhi. And as of now, we see a very strong interest from global CXOs to come and visit this event. And it's not coming for seeing the event, but they want to commit and they want to discuss and understand more as how they could participate in the India growth story. So it is clearly understood worldwide. The messaging is clear that the India is more credible, is trustworthy, and there are possibilities to do investment in India. India is emerging as a destination. Obviously, because of the long gestation and the high dollar value impact, it takes some time. But in the ecosystem play, I see a much immediate impact, which is the supply chain related topics like specialty chemicals, the gases, the materials, the equipment subsystems. Those are the things which will get addressed very quickly. And OSAT, we have already seen the success. In fact, there are a long list of companies. Obviously, I cannot speak about them on the forum, but there are a large pool of companies those are interested to do the OSATs in India. And so is the case with happen with the fabs. Our expectation is going forward in next decade, India should see about 5 to 8 fabs, particularly, all, whether it's a logic or memory or a silicon carbides called with compound semiconductors, plus large number of the OSATs should come up. And the design ecosystem goes on. The biggest thing which will happen now with this policy I want to add here is we had a large pool of design engineers, but mostly these are captive design engineers. And with this, we expect the things to move towards design expertise to be converted into the products. And that's with all what's going to unfold. And finally, as an overall ecosystem, we have the design, the products, there is a talent topic, there is R&D initiative part of this scheme, and also RDI scheme that will feed into the OSATs and fabs. And most important topic is the domestic market. India's demand itself is growing significantly, more than $100 billion semiconductor demand by 2030, and export potential exists. So we're quite hopeful and quite bullish that more investment would come.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chandok, for joining us today on ET Now and sharing your inputs on the Semiconductor 2 and PLI 2.0 schemes.
Thank you.
Well, now moving on, Darshita is here to tell us which companies benefit from Centre's decision.
Right. The government's latest cabinet push could become a major trigger for India's electronic manufacturing ecosystem. Now, the biggest announcement is a 62,500 crore mobile phone manufacturing scheme, which is aimed at making India a larger global manufacturing hub. And naturally, the companies already present in the electronic manufacturing services, or let's say EMS, are expected to be the first beneficiaries. And starting off first with Dixon Technologies, which is the India's largest EMS player, could see higher order inflows as the global smartphone brands expand their local production. Kaynes Technology, on the other hand, may benefit not just from assembling the electronics, but also from the increasing focus on the manufacturing high-value components. Moving on next, Sirma SGS Technologies and Avalon Technologies could gain as demand rises for precision electronics, PCB assembly and the components supplied to the global OEMs. Meanwhile, PG Electroplast could get an opportunity to expand its mobile manufacturing footprint, while Amber Enterprises, through its growing EMS business, stands to benefit from the government's localization push. But that's not all. The cabinet has also approved an expanded semiconductor mission with an outlay of 1.28 lakh crore rupee, reinforcing India's ambition to build a domestic chip ecosystem. While Tata Electronics remain as an unlisted player, listed companies like Kaynes Technology could benefit from higher demand for semiconductor and embedded electronics. Moving on next, CG Power is already investing in semiconductor assembly and testing, positioning itself well for the opportunity. And MOSChip Technologies, which specializes in the chip design services, could see stronger demand as India's semiconductor ecosystem continues to scale. So yes, overall, these announcements strengthen the long-term investment case for companies across the electronics manufacturing and semiconductor value chain.
Thank you so much.